Hi guys, I'm Zach from NerdWorks Media, and in today's video I'm going to be doing a cost to build. What did my car cost to build to both turbocharge and completely rebuild the engine? The other video that I had on my poll, if you guys are from Instagram, the other video that I had on my poll of the 10 minutes just building it up, that will be next week's video. So yeah, anyway, let's get into today's video. Hi guys, just a very quick reminder that I actually have merch now. So if you guys want like t-shirts with some graphic art of Miatas, I have one of a 200SX, an FDRX7, a Mark V Supra, and a few other cars, as well as also radiator shrouds and the dorsals. All available on my website now, so if you guys are interested, go check out my website, link down below. Okay, so first up, let's talk about the rebuild, because the rebuild was what's least fresh on my mind, so I might not remember everything. Disclaimer, I'm probably not going to remember a lot of what everything costs because my mind is broken. So because for the rebuild we didn't actually do anything particularly fancy, we didn't change the cams, we didn't get like low compression super low compression pistons, they slightly lower compression pistons, but anyway, we didn't get like forged components or anything like that. The rebuild itself was actually not that expensive. Also considering the fact that, if you guys remember where this trailer is now, we actually parked my car up and we took out my engine ourselves, myself and my dad, who's somewhere over there. Hi Dad. Anyway, so because we did all the labor ourselves, there was basically no cost there. And also very thankful to Micro Engineering, which is a very good friend of my dad's. They gave us a really good deal on basically like rebuilding it and like speccing out my engine and refreshing the block and the head and everything, and doing the valves as well and everything. I can't remember exactly what that cost off the dot. I think it was about 10 to 12,000, somewhere about there. Anyway, then all the little replacement hoses and fittings, which are now brass, so that they won't rust again, because we had obviously that problem. Then I want to say that, coupled with all the service pieces, obviously like a new oil filter, new oil, new antifreeze and stuff like that, and obviously spark plugs and blah 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 blah. You guys understand what goes into a service. That all in all was probably about 1,500 to 2,000 or so, I'm gonna guess. Again, these numbers aren't too fresh in my mind. Anyway, that kind of covers the rebuild part of it. There wasn't actually much to talk about because, well, it was kind of simple and it was pretty much all stock pieces that we just put back in, except for what needed to be replaced. Now we come on to the more interesting bits. So the turbo kit. The manifold was about 3,000 Rand. The turbo I actually got for free because I traded Callum a set of headlights for both the turbo and lowering springs. If you guys remember, the lowering springs video didn't go well because apparently I already had those springs. So Callum owed me a little bit of money, so that also helped towards the turbo kit. He actually supplied my full exhaust. So I actually got my exhaust for free, technically speaking. So that was great. The oil catch can, Tyron gave me for free. Thank you, Tyron. You're a G. The cone filter I already had, obviously from my original setup, the naturally aspirated setup. So that cost essentially nothing. I think the filter itself cost me 800 Rand when I bought it new for that, the stock intake. So I don't know if you guys want to count that or not. Also note, this damage is not from my hood. It kind of just been like that since it was over there, because we used to have the aircon lines that ran there, and then this used to sit on that and rub through, unfortunately. All the welding for the turbo kit was done by Matt there with Mr. Callum. So I mean, he sponsored the welds obviously because Callum had to supply the exhaust, and he did a fantastic job. And I mean, free welds, so that also really helped out. The fuel pressure regulator, as well as all the silicone piping, all the metal piping, the blow-off valve, and then the intercooler inside there, that in total, I can't remember exactly what it came out to, but it was about 3,000 Rand, if I'm correct, 2.5 to 3,000 Rand. I'm not sure on the exact numbers. I think I did talk about it in my turbo video though. So if you guys want the exact numbers, I think I referenced it there. All the oil lines that go to the oil catch can and stuff was, I think, pipes that we already had. So I think that was basically for free. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Oh, the additional fan I think was included with all the silicone piping and stuff. So there we go. Sorry, I have my towel on my dash because it was parked outside yesterday and I didn't want the sun to damage my dash. The little Grady boost controller, let me get a better angle there. The little Grady boost controller was 3,000 Rand, and that was one hell of a steal because these apparently go for about, I think, 6 grand second hand or something like that. So I basically paid half price for it and it works great. One of the additional things that we need to talk about is obviously some of the stuff that you can't see. For example, the upgraded clutch and flywheel. That was helped by Full Race Engineering, and they got like, you guys remember probably from the rebuild video, if you don't, linked somewhere, there was, so we got an upgraded clutch that was both super easy and smooth to use, as well as could obviously hold all the extra torque and power coming from the new setup. So that clutch was about 3,000 Rand as well. Then just finally, we do actually need to talk about the fact that I have an aftermarket diff, which was also about 3,000 Rand. I bought it off Callum because Callum has the special edition, and I got, well, mine was an open diff, his was a limited slip diff and slightly stronger. So I do have an aftermarket diff in my car. Overall, I did actually end up getting really like stupidly lucky with the pricing for half of the stuff that's done on this, including the rebuild, well, especially the rebuild, because that should have cost like 40 by itself, and I paid like 10 or 12 or something like that. I can't remember exactly. It was 10, 12 or 15, somewhere about there. So I got very lucky with that, and I have my dad to thank for that because my dad has like contacts everywhere, and then Callum also has a few contacts that got him pretty damn good pricing as well. Oh, the ECU, I forgot about the ECU. The ECU was 2,400 bucks, I believe. I can't remember exactly, but this is what I do remember. I worked out, in total, the build cost me, so with the rebuild and then the turbo kit and basically everything done and said, was about 40,000. Just under probably, with all those special help and deals and stuff. But it was about 40 or so thousand. Which, considering the fact that this was a naturally aspirated car and had to be completely rebuilt and then turbocharged, that's a very good deal. Also considering the fact that I've heard that other people have gotten quotes of about 80,000 just to turbocharge it. Not rebuild the engine or anything, just turbocharge it. So with that in mind, I got really lucky to turbocharge my car for the amount that I have. Obviously, tuning lands up costing a lot as well, and I think Callum did me a really good deal with that as well. So a very big thank you to Callum. Thank you, Callum. So if you guys need any work for turbocharging your cars or your Miatas especially, go speak to Callum because he's a G. Anyway, so that's actually about it. There wasn't too much to talk about because I have the memory of a wooden spoon. But yeah, that's basically it. In total, I'm guesstimating that my car cost about 40,000 to do, which again, all things considered, is really not bad at all. So yeah, until next time guys, I hope you enjoyed this short little video, and I hope to see you guys in next week's video, which will be a super long time lapse of literally this whole thing. So completely rebuilding it and then turbocharging it. So yeah, until next time guys, cheers.